I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Jolpy and Ghosty.
Pick a number 1 to 4.
4.
Okay. Purple it is.
Definitely 4.
How come you're not working? Go to purple. There
It's probably because Jim Root was covering the way. So check this out, guys. This is Marcin of the Nuclear Village.
Pretty sure it's pronounced Marcin.
Oh, Marcin? Okay.
Fine.
Anyway, look at this picture. I thought this was a very cool picture. Yep, it says, here's some pictures of my new hoodie. I was getting ready for the Cradle of Filth gig yesterday and got carried away a little bit. Yeah. He said we can use it if we want to scare away potential new subscribers and patrons. Much love and respect, he said. Yeah, so I thought that was a pretty cool picture, only he didn't tell me where he was. But I guess I got to go to a Cradle of Filth show, so.
He's got to be in Europe somewhere, right?
Probably.
Marcin? What's up, Marcin?
Alright, well, today we are doing our Anarchy 99 Alliance. That's basically on Patreon we have different groups and they select songs for us to do. Email us if you want information on that. But in the meantime, Anarchy 99, this awesome intro right here, boom.
Bada bing.
Picked this song. It's called, the band is Converge and the name of the song is The Saddest Day.
And the name of the record is Petitioning the Empty Sky. Good
so
Lord.
It sounds like we're about to enter some nihilism.
Alright, let's do it. Hold on, let me get that.
Oh.
Are we ready to rock and roll?
Okay, here you go. Alright, is everybody ready? Is Vinny ready? Go.
is the most unique song of 2019.
That is, yeah.
They must have had 14 riffs, 8 tempo changes. This is a pretty risky... First of all, this is why we have the alliances, because this is a band I'm very glad that I heard of tonight, but we didn't hear from them before. We didn't know who they were. So, I think Brandon actually talked about these guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not sure, though, because it doesn't seem to be Brandon's type of music.
Yeah.
If you're watching, buddy, what's up, guy?
Yeah, he's a Tool guy.
Thanks for the assist. He's not a Tool guy. He's a, what do you
Which
call
Brandon are we talking about?
your best friend's husband.
Yeah, he likes Tool.
Yeah, his big band, he likes Chevelle a lot more than Tool, though. Chevelle is his band. But anyway,
Like Steve DeArera.
yeah, I thought this is a risky song because I can hear, and we're probably going to see this in the comment section. I'm going to be very, very interested. I can see a guitar purist or a music purist saying, "You just cobbled a bunch of riffs together."
Oh.
Because whenever you're in a band, like we were in a band for like 2 weeks, but there's so much stuff that you think is good, but the other ones don't agree, so you leave it out. And it seems like everybody was like, okay, let's do that too. Or you know when a kid's telling a story,
Yes.
and they go, "Oh, the giant," and then all of a sudden there's a dragon. You're
Yeah.
like, "Well, where did the dragon come from?" They're like, "Oh, I was in the cave the whole time, dummy, I don't have to say." You know, so I can definitely see somebody making that criticism, but I think it worked for this particular band. You know?
I
like-
didn't even notice that it was all over the place. I mean, that to me kind of went along with it. Like, when it started, I was like, yo, those vocals, though.
Right.
I was like, no. And I did not like those vocals at all at the beginning. But then as the song progressed and I heard, like, kind of where they were going and kind of what my assumption of the song was about, I was like, actually, by the end, I liked the vocals.
Yeah, I
Weird.
I think I liked the way it sounded, but I didn't like that I could not decipher what he was saying. Because there are times, and we were following right along and still missed our place a bunch of times. but
Yeah.
It's a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
So, really, 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 very interesting song for sure.
So let me take a stab at it. It seems like I got from this, it's a surprise. I always think it's a relationship song. It seemed like a relationship song to me, and it seemed like how as they progress in their relationship, they kind of forget about who each other is, and then they become a ghost of who they were, or she becomes a ghost of who she was because he justifies actions or things that he does. And every time that he does that, she feels like more of the good part of him dies out. And then when it said, yeah, I guess that's, and then, whoa, wasn't it creepy when they got to the part where it said how we get older, how we forget about each other.
She said, entwined within the
Remember when their voices were doing it simultaneously in
Yeah.
the song? I was like, oh, that's terrifying. Because honest to goodness, one of my fears about like relationships or being in a relationship is that this is what I got from the song, but that is a terrifying thought to me. To be in a relationship with someone and then have them be a ghost of who they were, or you become a ghost of who you were, and you don't like love each other anymore, and you don't like connect anymore, and all that stuff. That's actually a very scary thought to me. So like just hearing them and in that eerie way that they were singing that,
Right.
how we forget about each other. Well, Dorian and I were out today, and like we saw like multiple couples that were out. And then there was this other couple that was there, and the girl was like really close to him, and she kept like situating his shirt, which Dorian's a huge fan of that. Like he's like, because your band study and stuff, he's like, he wants a wife that's gonna like see a fuzz on his shirt and pick it off. He's that, which is funny because you're not like that. You're like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But he wants that. That's big to him. Well, as we're watching out, we see the girl fixes his collar, and then all the other couples were like separated by like a very big distances, like just kind of going around, not really walking together. And then I was like, wow, I was like, look at all these couples, like nobody's together. And then I was like, but they are the two people that we had noticed were, and I said, I bet they're not married. And then Dorian was like, really? Well, I was like, let's look at her hand. And then she pulls her hand out of her pocket. He goes, pinky ring, because they weren't married. And then it actually looked like she was into him more than he was into her.
That's a good advertisement for marriage there, babe. The one couple that's really engaged with each other.
Was not together.
You
They were not
assumed that
married.
she wasn't married?
Yes.
That's a good lesson for Dorian to know. Thank you.
He said,
Thank you
actually,
for undoing all the years.
no, I didn't. He said, actually, he's like, Father talks about this in the men's study. He's like, he talks about not being the type of guy that just stops pursuing his wife after they've been together. Mm-hmm. So it was a good life lesson because he was like, oh, he goes, that's really, that's what he said. He goes, that's really true. People, like, I was like, look at them all. The guy's walking like he's so sick of it.
He probably was, poor fella.
Anyway, is that what you got from this?
No, I actually took it literally that she was with him and then she died. Because he says we won't be breathing in that same sun again. None of this will ever surface again. Mm-hmm. Then it talks about angels. But then it talks about
well, yeah, but read what it says about the angels.
Hold on. I have seen it before. Young, it is the dying too fast, too soon. I'll be okay.
Yeah, usually say the young die too soon. But they flipped it and said young is the dying too fast, too soon. It is
the dying too fast.
Young, it is the dying too fast. Which I just thought that was that young relationships die too fast.
Yeah, I just think that the way he started the song and that.
Okay, so what about the forgetting each other thing?
Well, because that's one of the things that happens when somebody dies is you're afraid that you're going to forget them. So she's forgotten about him because obviously she died, and he's worried that he's going to forget about her as he moves on with his life. That's how I interpret it.
And what is she saying when she said, every time you justify another good in you dies?
Well, I think that
your faith and fear seared me.
I think that she was a good person and was kind of his moral compass. Mm-hmm. And so that's what she used to say to him. And now that she's gone, I don't think that there's some people that like have such a positive influence on you that when they're gone, it's hard to maintain that positivity because you don't have somebody that embodies that. So I think that that's what he's talking about, is that she used to say stuff like that to him, which was very significant. And she kind of functioned as his moral compass. So she did it again. It says, she blessed this day. She did, and it rings in our ears.
How we get older, how we forget about each other, and the angel falls to the sky, which is flipped. It usually falls from the sky, but the angel falls to the sky, which is why you think her spirit's going up.
Right. She fell in the sense of she died, but she fell to the sky.
Raised and coiled? It sounds like a cobra.
Well, yeah, but
what is that?
How does that work in your...
I had no clue what that part meant, so I was curious.
Well, I think he's looking at death as a cobra. Because right after that, she blessed this day. So...
Okay, what about she rarely flies anymore, bird and broke her wings? Broke her wings?
What about it?
See, to me that sounds like the relationship, it wasn't that good, it broke her wings.
So what's the angels falling to the sky and if she's not dead?
I know.
That's a very brilliant line, though.
Yeah.
That's a very brilliant line.
It is,
that
especially if you read it like you're...
That line might undo I want to burn to death like this.
No! Not my pain of salvation.
It might. The angels fall to the sky thing is a brilliant line for sure.
It is.
And look, she rarely flies anymore. Burn broken wings. And I know this ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was the ghost or the shell of the person that you once loved and once remembered, you know?
Yeah, very, very possible. I don't think that's what it is.
The air thins and the quicken our lips move, but we hear no sound. She whispered every time we justify another man dies.
There was one part that sounded like Inspector Gadget. I think it was like around the 440 mark. It sounded like Inspector Gadget.
I actually liked that show.
I think it's right.
Are you sure it wasn't right there?
It might have been the 340 mark. I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is right there. Watch. Inspector Gadget.
I can see where you're getting at.
So, funniest thing. Sound like Inspector Gadget. I think that's a big thing, though, is, one of the most profound memes I've ever seen in my life is one day you and your friends played outside. It was the last time you did it, and and none of you knew. And that's kind of been like a theme of my life because we moved around so much. And so, you know, obviously it's not particularly like analogous to this situation directly, but the concept of losing relationships is a big thing that I think most of us struggle with, you know. And so moving around a lot, you know, I basically had to make a decision, meaning I was going to be isolated and not be friends with anybody because I was going to leave them, or be friends with them, enjoy them while they're there because I know I'm leaving. And so that's kind of the philosophy I adapted over the years was, yeah, I mean, you're going to lose most of the relationships. Like 10 years ago, you're probably not hanging around the same people that you were before.
Right.
So I think that, you know, it's a healthy thing to be able to say, okay, for the moment I'm with this person, I'm with him, I'm going to be happy, I don't know what the future holds, I'm not going to worry about it, I'm just going to do it. And then when it's done, and you can move on with your life. But I think that this guy is obviously having a hard time, right? And, you know, it's his girl, which that's different from other friendships. It's very, very hard to let that stuff go. But when you look at it from the backdrop of the entire record, Petitioning the Empty Sky, it's sort of like, you know, he's got no place to put this pain of losing this person. And if the sky is empty, then she then becomes kind of like his Moses. You know, every time you justify, another good in you dies. So like she was able to keep him. You know, it was interesting because at the man study we were talking about that, where God didn't make
The man study is a Bible study he does with our boys. I forgot, I should have clarified that.
Right, with the boys. They're 14 and 11 respectively, but
yeah.
You know, it's one of the things that we talk about a lot. So, there you are. Very, very important.
Yeah.
But
I'm still going with my
the main thing I talked about with them though was that God didn't make Adam and Steve, and I don't mean it in the regular way. I mean it in he didn't give him a best friend. He didn't give him a dad. He didn't give him a kid. I said he gave you a wife. And that means that she is your, you know, the term helper, which I'm sure you know, but a helper, you know, it says Eve was made for Adam to help him, is not in the original language talking about washing the dishes and maintaining the house. The majority of the time the term helper is used.
The word is etzer.
It is in relationship to God in a rescuing role with his people. So I explained to the boys is like, look, you know, your wife should be your number one. She should be the number one person you consult, and she should be the one that sways you and kind of like, yeah, definitely you got to lead your family, but your wife, who's your ace, is your main person, you would do well to listen to her, right? So, and she, like I said here, it looks like she was just functioning as his moral compass, and that's, I think, one of the roles, right, of being an etzer or as a helper is to be that moral compass. Otherwise, you you go haywire with stuff. So, anyway, that's just how I looked at it. What do you give the song?
Oh, it was like so low when it started out, no joke. And then it kept bumping up, and bumping up. It actually lands like probably an 8.9. Maybe even a 9.2.
It's a 9.4. You got 0.5 percentage points for the Angels Fall to the Sky thing.
All right, so I'm going to go 9.2.
Really, really good one.
I'm not going up to 5 with you, but I'll go to 9.2.
All right. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.